I have a better tool that you can use instead of just trying to find the red flags in a girl that you're dating. Hi, I'm Paul, human behavior expert, and it's the new year 2025. I'm going to set you off on the right foot. Some of you guys have gotten your relationships broken up. You just got through the holidays and now you're single and you're looking to get out in the dating market. And some of you guys have been single for a while. And a common strategy is to look at girls that you're seeing or dating or talking to and try to look for or find red flags and then disqualify girls based on the red flags. Well, there's a couple of problems with that strategy. It's not the red flags that you see that are going to be the problem. It's the ones that you don't see. You could go through a checklist of red flags and notice, oh, she doesn't go to bars, she doesn't get drunk, she doesn't keep in contact with her ex-boyfriends, she doesn't signal to men on social media. And you start looking at all the things that would be a red flag, checking them off your list, and then you determine, oh wow, this is a good girl, this is a good person that I could maybe pursue or build something with, right? Your checklist is not recognizing the things that you don't see. It doesn't account for the problems she's going to bring into your life as you progress in dating or in the relationship. You aren't unable to identify those through your red flags list. And the reality is you don't need a list for things that you're aware of. Most of you guys are aware of things that would be on a red flag list, right? A girl with ratchet behavior on social media is probably a red flag that you're going to notice. A girl who is inconsiderate of your time and inconsiderate when she texts you, do you need that to be on a list in order to vet that girl out? Probably not. So this list that you have is really just a false sense of security. And there's a lot of dating coaches and men's coaches out there who promote this red flags list as if it's a magical solution for you to be able to find that good person for a long-term relationship. And it generally isn't. So I'm going to give you some advice on human behavior and how to approach this thing a little bit differently. So the one tool you're going to use instead of a red flags list is very, very simple, and it's your skills in observation. Now that sounds overly simplified, so let me explain. But first, let's look at what you see on the surface when you start talking to a girl. Here's the thing that you have to remember. The qualities that a girl is presenting to you in the beginning of a dating scenario are qualities that she wants to present to you. So let's just think of when you first start dating somebody. She's presenting to you based on how she looks, dresses, and acts, and the things that she says about herself, what type of a girl that she is. Or so you think. What she's actually presenting to you is the type of a girl that she wants you to see her as. So let me say that again. When a girl is presenting herself to you in the beginning of dating, she's not presenting the full picture of who she is. She's presenting to you what she wants you to see. Now, this doesn't mean that she's a toxic or a bad person for doing that. This is just what people do. People wear masks and they present a version of themselves to others that conveys what they want that person to see. Now, some of what they're presenting may be subconscious behaviors and things that have worked for them in the past, or maybe even things that they just aren't aware of, but are just happen to be there, and things that they've habitually brought into new encounters with new people. But whatever it may be, they're presenting to you what they want you to see, not necessarily the full picture of who they are. So the way that she behaves to you and the way that she presents herself is just a version of who she is. What that tells you is not who she is, but it tells you two things. It tells you how she thinks about herself, and it tells you what she is wanting you to think about her. So when you're dating a girl and you're just starting off and she's, you know, displaying who she is through her behaviors and words and how she acts towards you and you have to ask yourself this question. What is it that she wants you to see? What is it that she wants you to think based on her behavior towards you? That is a better question than trying to vet a girl out through a bunch of red flags or from trying to find a type of woman that you gravitate towards and that you see as a green flag or good sign as somebody that you should date. Let me give you another example. So I have clients who, are in relationships or dating women, and they get advice on how to do that better with me, right? And one of my particular clients got into a relationship with somebody, and the track record of that girl was that she hadn't been with a guy in 6 months. She had a long-term boyfriend before that, and then that didn't work out. So she went back into the sexual marketplace, had a few casual encounters with guys, right? So slept with a couple of guys, not a ton of guys, like I think it was like 2 maybe, right? Realized, because she was 32 years old, that strategy is not making her happy and not working. That was the same strategy she had been doing since she was younger, which was just meeting guys and sleeping with them and, partying and having fun and seeing what happens. And it really was not leading her to what she wanted, which was to find a better guy and then to have a healthier relationship. So she took a 6-month break in the dating market, and then she started putting herself out there again. And then she met this particular client of mine. Now that's her backstory, and this client was a client for a while. So we learned this about this person as he continued dating her. But what was it that she presented initially in the dating process, that first month or so of dating? Well, what she presented was that she was a woman who had just been getting back in the dating market, hadn't been dating for a very long time, isn't super experienced with guys, is kind of innocent, and is trying to sort of figure things out. And that this is the first guy that she's really seen and really got interested in a long time, and in a very long time. And she conveyed this level of innocence that was seen as a green flag, and certainly bypassed a bunch of red flags on a list from this client. But as things went along, and upon further examination and more conversations that would come up naturally about a person's history, what she actually is a person who took a break for 6 months. What she actually was somebody who had several promiscuous phases in her life, has a history of manipulating men, has a history of cheating, right? And a couple of times, not all the time, had been doing things wrong and had needed to sort of figure herself out now that she's 32 and guys aren't buying her as many drinks as she would get bought for her at 21. It kind of causes that little bit of epiphany and causes her to want to ask a little bit more questions about her own behavior, right? And so now she's trying to do things differently. It's not that she lied within that first couple months. It's that she really felt like she was just getting back in the dating market and really didn't know how to navigate that. So that's the reflection on how she sees herself, because she's trying to figure it out now at 32 and took 6 months off. That said, what is she trying to present to this new guy? She's trying to present, I'm an innocent girl who doesn't know how men work. And I kind of, am looking for something long term, and I got good morals and values, and I would never cheat on anybody or sleep with random guys that I've just met, kind of stuff, right? That's what she was presenting. She didn't overtly lie about anything. She certainly, in the beginning of the dating process, is concealing that information. She's not going to present that up front. That's not the image that she wants this guy to see her as. So all of these green flags and lack of red flags that you guys see in the beginning They're really just being filtered through what a girl wants to present to you. And girls are very good at being persuasive and to the point of being manipulative or deceptive if they want to be that way in the dating market. So, how is collecting a bunch of red flags going to help you? It's not really going to help you that much. It'll seem like it is because there are girls who, even with presenting themselves to you in the best light, demonstrate red flags and you end up having to exit that situation. But the reality is red flags don't even tell the whole story. And in fact, this particular individual isn't necessarily a bad relationship partner. She's somebody who made a lot of mistakes when she was younger and is trying to figure her life out now and reevaluate things. In Although there's going to be a lot of guys who watch me who's going to look at this very negatively and say, well, I wouldn't want to have anything to do with that. And that's okay. Reality is, though, she might be somebody who's open to changing her behavior and being a much better person than she had been previously in the dating market. Who knows, right? At that juncture, in that stage of the game. But the point is if you're collecting red flags and collecting green flags, you don't know anything because all you know is what she is presenting to you. So a better tool is to use your skills of observation. By using the skills of observation, you ask yourself that question: what is this person trying to tell me with her behavior? What is she trying to present to me? And with that, you ask yourself, how does this reflect how she wants to be seen by me and by others? And how does this reflect how she sees herself? And then a third question you can ask is, what is it that she's not telling me? What is it that she is concealing about herself through what she is presenting? By asking these questions of yourself and observing behavior throughout the dating process, you're going to have a much better time vetting a girl. Her true colors are going to come out and you're going to notice. I'm going to give you 2 more tips when it comes to vetting out things in the beginning of a relationship. One of those things is don't try to control things, okay? Don't try to control her, control the outcomes, or influence her to try to do better and be a better person really in the beginning, because you don't have a baseline of behavior yet to know what she's like. Is she somebody who's lived a life based on principles and values? Does she have decent enough morals and a good enough self-image to follow your frame and to be a good relationship partner? Or is she somebody who has a lot of toxic behaviors that she's built up over time through having divisive and terrible relationships? Is she somebody who's used to manipulating and doing divisive things when she doesn't get her way, or when she gets nervous or anxious about the outcomes, or when she's feeling like she has low self-esteem, or when things are just not going the way that she wants? Is she defaulting to toxic behaviors? Is she being not a good relationship partner? What's her normal default of behavior? Is she conscientious? Is she considerate? Is she naturally feminine? Does she naturally gravitate towards a bonded relationship? Or is her natural gravitation to be away from a bonded relationship and to leave options open and play the field? All of these are questions that you're only going to get the true answer to just by observation. So instead of trying to control things, all you do is you set that date, have a great time, create a great experience for both of you and her to have a good time, good experiences, to include escalating, getting into the bedroom, having great sexual experiences together, and then you drop her off. You let her go back into the world and let her behave in the world as she's used to behaving until the next time you guys meet up or go out or talk. And you just rinse and repeat that for the first few months without trying to control or change anything. Sure, you can illustrate your values and some of your beliefs and some of the things that are important to you when those conversations happen, but you're not trying to push her in any sort of direction. You're just watching how she behaves. When you watch how she behaves, ask the right questions, and use your observation skills, you'll start to learn about who she is. That mask she has will start to reveal what's behind it. That little narrow bit of information that she presents to you will start to open up, and you'll start to see her true colors outside of what she wants you to see. That's going to set you up better to assess who she is and make decisions about your future. The last piece of advice I'll give on this topic is to take your time. Don't let a girl push you into a relationship commitment too early. And don't let your own weak or needy emotions and need and want to have somebody push you into offering the commitment too early and trying to force a relationship with somebody that you don't actually know yet because you haven't learned enough about her. Just relax, take your time, have fun, and observe. That's going to get you a lot further than a spreadsheet of flags and trying to mathematically figure out if this girl is going to screw you over in the future or not. All right, guys, that's a good way to start off the new year. Let's start 2025 off right. Click the link, get into my community at school. It's free. And if you've just gotten out of a relationship or if you had a bad breakup before in your life, I have free material and free courses in there for you. All you have to do is click the link. And we're going to have a number of things on the schedule for January and some courses to really get involved in human behavior and goal setting and setting yourself up right for 2025. So be sure to click that link. And of course, like the video and be subscribed and all that stuff. And let's make it a good year.